Hi everyone, Omeza here. Welcome to my free Excel dashboard tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to create this beautiful and highly dynamic interactive Excel dashboard. It is actually an animated Excel dashboard that you can actually create and amaze your boss in the office. Okay, today I'm going to show you how to create everything from the scratch. So I have a very dynamic filtered hidden that is going to actually come out in an animated way. Alright, before we delve in, let me just tell you what the data is all about. The data we are actually analyzing is a COVID-19 data that can actually, whatever trick we've actually used here today can be used on your financial data as well. So all you just have to do is just for you to pay very good attention to see how we have everything created from the scratch. So you're gonna have to download this template and follow along step by step as we create the dashboard from the scratch. So right now what here we just have Africa viewed like Africa is a continent. So inside Africa we have over 56 countries in Africa, and right now what we are showing is just it's just 5 out of the 56 country, and we're trying to show where we have our total debt having the highest debt ever in those countries. And now Egypt is the highest, followed by this country and this and that. So the lowest cases the lowest debt is actually going to be mentioned if I have this particular law selected, and it's giving me based on what I have selected. Can you see that? Now it's not only that, if we hover over North America, like okay, now I'm gonna go to North America, I'm gonna hover over it right now, and you can see here we go, we have North America right here, and the same thing we're talking about is what we have. So if I click on the high aspect right here, what it's gonna give to me is the high of aspect of North America. Now switching between the high and low will definitely make you to see where we are having the highest total debt in a particular continent and the countries that belongs to that particular continent as well. So we can put it up. So isn't that particular part you're gonna find very much interesting. I'm talking about the take it all aspect, whereby if I click right here right now, I'm going to step 3. Now if I click step 3, I'm going to go to step 4. If you look at what is going right here where my cursor is, now I'm going to step 4. Now right now I'm on step 3. Right now I'm going to step 4. I'm right on step 4. I'm going to step 5. I'm right on step 5. Right now it's 5 to 9. You can see it right here, and it's telling you what this particular image and the figure that is peculiar to the image is all about. So if I keep clicking, I'm gonna stop in right now. It's talking about this comment. So this is giving you more information about the monthly chart on view, like what we have right here as a text. So if I click on this, it's gonna actually give us something like this. Now we're gonna actually amaze ourselves by creating this from the scratch, and I believe it's gonna make your work very much easier. And the very slices we have hidden right here, and it comes out in a very amazing way. So we can actually place a very filter on this, like using January, and it's going to filter all our data in January. So, and this is exactly what it is. So right now is actually it's actually gone. Even without we clicking on it, it's going to go away from here. So beautiful stuff right here. So every part of the dashboard responds to filter. As soon as we select February right now, you're gonna see it actually changes to February and to the new dot. And you guys like, okay, want to see people fully vaccinated. Once we click on it, you can see the whole dashboard updated. And you want to see it on July, you're gonna have it updated. And if we as well hover, now as you can see there is no data right here, so it can give us anything. And what we have right here, no data to display information on the table, so you might want to select another option on the filter. So we make the comment very dynamic, but as soon as we have data, like if I actually click the filter right now, you're gonna see the data will get updated automatically. This is how I want you to actually have a dashboard as well. So every single time we move a filter right away from it, it's just gonna get updated the way it should be accurately. So right now, do we have to get started? Yes, of course, we just need to get started. All you just have to do is to have the template downloaded and actually follow along step by step as we go on the creation journey. So what I'm going to do right now is just to actually click on Ctrl N, and what Ctrl N does is that it gives us a new workbook. So right now we have a new workbook right here. I'm gonna have to name this as my dashboard. So I'm naming this as my dashboard right now, and I always love to clear the grid lines. So I'm gonna go to data. So yeah, sorry, I'm gonna go to view, and I'm gonna take up the grid line, and I love the header to actually as well be hidden. So right now I think we have something like this. So we're gonna be having a very speedy creation. So for that, I don't want to actually reinvent the wheel, so I'm just gonna click right here and have this particular color copy to the other side of it. So I'm gonna click and copy, which I had just done. So what I'll just do right here, I'm just gonna click and say paste, and I have it pasted. So right now this is what we have. So but I don't really need this particular figure right now here. I'm gonna take it off because we're gonna actually create our own figure ourselves and see how we can analyze that and make it standard. So that is exactly what it is. So for the etiquette, I'm gonna take it off as well. I'm gonna take the etiquette off away from here as well. So I'm gonna go to my pixel family. I'm gonna take this particular one. So I'm gonna have it highlighted as a hub because I have them closer together. So right now we have something like this, beautiful. Now this is just the channel's name and logo for COVID-19 and stuff like that. So what we're going to be starting from right now, we're going to actually learn how to create an animated okay, sorry for that. Okay, we're going to learn how to create an animated continent map right here. So I'm going to show you how to do that from very square one down to the very amazing aspect of it. Okay, already I have my map here. I can just bring it on. So I'm gonna actually make sure the map sits right here. But before the map sits right here, I'm gonna actually have something that actually is gonna hold our comments as soon as we are done with this. So beautiful. Let me show you that. Now this is what I'm talking about right here. In case you don't understand what is going on right here is just giving us more information about this particular map we have right here. So it's saying Europe has the highest new debt with 30.41%, while Oceania has the lowest new debt with 0.03% of the whole new debt across all continents. So if I change to like, okay, people fully vaccinated right now, what I'm gonna have is under set of analysis again, and it's gonna actually depends on what we have selected right here on our filter. So if I go to my filter and select January, so it's just gonna filter down to January data. That is exactly what it is that how we have. So right now if I have it cleared, so you can see right here we have arrow down. So the reason why we are having arrow down was because there was no data. As you can see, no data right here, and there is no value right here, even though if we go to the high aspect of it, so there's nothing we're gonna see right on it. So what we are trying to do now is for you to create this particular kind of commentary for our dashboard as well. So let's go and have it right there. So right here is the dashboard. So I'm just gonna have to paste it right here because I have it copied already. So it's very good. It's gonna be dynamic. So we have it right here. I'm just gonna make sure it's sitting right and give it a little bit of space at the top level right here. So we have something beautiful like this. So right now we can now start to work with our map. So beautiful. So there is something I want to show you. So let me just go to insert. I'm gonna get a picture right here. I'm gonna say insert picture. So I have a map picture downloaded. So let's go get it. Okay, I think I have to go to download right here. So from my download, I'm gonna actually scroll down to where I'm gonna have that writing. So I think beautiful, I have this here. If I just click on it, I'm gonna have to bring it up. So we have this, so, and it's giving us exactly where all the city are actually sitting. All this, yeah. Okay. Now I hope you can see it on the screen. So why am I having this right here? Because I want to do some amazing work right here. So before then, so let's see, insert. I'm gonna go to this, and I'm gonna have to insert this particular rounded rectangle. So on the right rounded rectangle, I'm gonna make it bigger. So right now I'm gonna carve it like this, and gonna make sure I'll make it smaller and a little bit taller, more smaller. So we can go ahead and actually place it. This is where we have North America. So I'm gonna hold my control and duplicate it for Africa. I'm gonna say, okay, this is for my South America. I'm gonna give this one to my Oceania right here. So we're gonna have to put it for Asia, and we bring this for Europe. So right now exactly, so we just gotten this done and we can go away with this. So this is exactly the continents we want to have to show right here. And now to make everything snappy, I'm gonna actually go and make it speedy and have it formatted for you, then you see it more beautiful. So beautifully, this is what I just have created for you. You can see we have this particular color on it. So if I double click on it right now and go to control 1, I'm going to show you how I did that. So I was able to format it. So I'm going to go to fill, and you can see I have the gradient fill right on it. So I have red and I have something like orange color. If I just click on it, I'll actually go down a little bit. You can see the color I have selected. So I just want my color to resonate with the colors we have right here. Then we have a very clean and nice looking dashboard. So right now we've just gotten this top down, so we have to make everything that's going to come right here very much dynamic, just like the way we have the other one. So right now we just need to go get the data. We don't have the data right here already, so I'm just going to place the data right here right now, and then we play along with it. Okay, now beautifully, so we have the data just like this. So we can see we have some like here we have new date. We don't have any record for here. We can go ahead and actually make it 0 all through if we don't have any data, but our pivot table is still going to respond to it, so we can make it this way. It's not a problem. And you can see if we keep scrolling down, we keep seeing data over and over again. You can see it's going to get filled with data, some aspects. So where we have data, some numbers is being pointing right here. So we don't have a problem with that. So what we're going to be doing right now is to save our work the way it should be saved, because we're going to be writing a little bit of VBA to have it much more dynamic. I'm going to click on save right here. So because I have not saved, it's going to prompt me right here and say, okay, where do I want to save it? I'm going to go for browse, and I always have where I save my work. So that is going to the desktop aspect right here. I'm going to click on this particular dashboard folder, and from the dashboard folder I'm going to say COVID-19 vaccination YouTube. I'm going to say for YouTube lesson, yeah. YouTube lesson. So now we don't need to actually save as Excel workbook, because we're going to be writing some codes to actually make it more dynamic. So right now we're going to use Excel micro enable workbook. So if I click on it, that is okay. So right now I can now save my work. So my work is saved. So beautiful, beautiful. So the next thing we need to do right now is to get the data ready for analysis. So what I'm going to do is also click any out of it right here. I'm going to click at the top level, go to insert, and all I do is to insert a pivot table right here. I'm going to click on it. Don't go for the recommended one, just do your thing. So right now we are about to create something very much beautiful. I have a sheet open for that. I have it named analysis. I'm going to click inside it, and I'm going to have to drop this right here. Okay, now if I hit OK, this is what I'm gonna have. So we just created our first pivot table number 1. So what do we really need right here? So we're gonna get the total cases. Yeah, we're gonna get the total cases. So we have it on the row level. So I'm gonna move it right here. I'm gonna get for the new date. I'm gonna get everything down here. First new test is gonna come down, and I'm gonna have my total tests, and I'm gonna have my total vaccination, and I'm gonna have as well my people fully vaccinated right on it. So we keep having all that. So this and that. The last one we're gonna have right now is just this. I'm gonna move it down right here as well. So never worry about what we have right here. It's a little bit messy, so let me just take it off, because that is not where it should be. But if you look at the data we have right now, it looks some kind of weird. I'm going to show you how to treat your data the way it should be. So right now it is default to count. So what we want is actually on sum. So for that, so I'm going to go to the top level right here. So click on this particular arrow down. So once you have done that, so you're going to see value field settings. So you just click on it and you see sum, and you just make it. and boom, we have it. So that is just one way to do it. So I can have this closed. Oh, if it is the first time, you'll be like, oh, how do I get it back again? It's very simple. You just right click and see show field list. So you have the show field list, and once you click on it, you have it back again. If you click outside here, it goes away, and if you click in here, it comes back just because you did not cut it off right here. But right now I don't need it. I'm going to take it away. So what we're going to do right now, I'm going to right click and actually go to what? Go to value field settings. So I'm going to actually turn this into a sum, and beautifully I do the same thing to this as well, and I have it turned into a sum because that is what I want, not just count. Okay, I have some of our work being cut off for us by doing it behind the scene. But if you look at what we have right here right now, we have some of total and underscore cases. We don't want any of this. So all I'm just going to do is for me to highlight it. So once I have it highlighted, I'm going to say Control H. And what we have is find what and replace with what. So I'm going to say find some if. And I'm going to replace that with nothing. So I'm not going to give anything right here. I'm just going to say okay. And I'm going to say okay right on this. Oh, find us. Yeah, we don't have that, so it's just gonna sum off, not if. So replace all. So it has been replaced. I'm gonna say okay. That's exactly what I want. But if let me just close this away from here. If you look at what we still have right now, we are having this underscore, which is not really awesome. So I'm just gonna actually still do the same thing. Control H is gonna give us that. And this time around, what I'm gonna be looking for is the underscore. We're just cleaning our data. So shift and the underscore will come. Okay, right now what I need is actually just a space. So on the replace with, just place a cursor right there and hit the what? Hit the space bar, and just gonna give a single space on it and actually just replace, and now we have it. Can you see that? So if I have it closed, beautiful, we have something very much nice. So the next thing I'm gonna do right now is just to highlight this whole aspect and actually format my figures. So what I need is just numbers, not in any currency sign, stuff like that. And beautifully I have this. Okay, fine. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have it duplicated because I'm gonna be needing this over and over again. So we have to start creating the dynamic chart. Okay, I'm gonna paste this right here. Beautiful. Okay, now what I'm gonna be doing now is I'm gonna put this on, and I'm gonna go to where we have continent. I'm gonna take my continent right here. We have it. So if you look at what we have on the chart, what we were doing is switching between the front view. Now we can see we can now switch to total cases, and it gets updated. And if we want to switch to something like a total test, we're gonna have it updated automatically, and the arrow as well is gonna play along with it. So exactly that is what we need to do right now. So how do we do this? How do we make it much dynamic? So this arrow moves to anywhere it feels like. If you have anything selected, now you can see the arrow is away from here. So let's see how we can actually make ours much just like what we have seen. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do right now is just for me to go back to my dashboard right here, and we have back right to the dashboard. I'm gonna click to the top level right here and hit on developer. So right on developer, we have what we call insert, and just click on insert. If this is your first time, just watch and watch and watch again, because you are gonna have something to take home. So right now I'm just gonna take this what I call combo box. So I'm gonna click on combo box. I'm gonna drag my combo box right here. Beautiful. So we have a combo box inserted right now. So before we have to use any of this combo box, right now it's empty. There is nothing inside it. So I'm just gonna go back to my analysis, and here we go. So right now we are having row label. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm just gonna do something very different. Have this closed and go to the top level right here, and I'm gonna hit on design, and from design I'm gonna say total grand total. I'm gonna have to turn it off, so we don't have it any longer. So for this row labels, so we're gonna have to make sure it's showing us continent right there. I'm gonna go to report layout. I'm gonna say in tabular form, and beautiful, that is exactly what it is. So now it's giving us what we really want. So for that, I'm gonna have to copy this away from here. Just Ctrl C will help you to copy it, right? Then I'm gonna have to drop it right here. This is exactly where we can now create much more dynamic stuff. So now there are so many ways to do the copying, but that's just my very best way. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do right now is for me to get this particular one away from here. I'm just going to get it. I'm going to show you two ways to have this copied. So if I have this copied, so I'm going to do right now, I need this to be right here. Yeah, right here. So what I need to do, I don't want it in this particular format. I want to turn it around. What I'm going to do is just to go here and just say, okay, paste special. And how do I want to do that? I'm going to transpose it, and here we go. The same thing we have right here is still the same thing we have right now. But I'm going to show you another form of transpose that you can actually use to create a dynamic dashboard and stuff like that. Every single time your data got what? Every single time your data gets some kind of updated, like the header get changes, so it's going to actually have effect on this particular what I'm going to show you. So the first thing you're going to do right now is for you to highlight this particular place. So because what we're going to be using now is an array, I'm going to put on my equal to, and I'm going to type on right here transpose. So hit the tab key, and now transpose is here. Just select the area where you want to transpose, and the next thing you're going to do right now is to have it closed and hit on Control Shift Enter because it's an array. So right now you have it. So you're gonna be like asking, but what we have is still the same thing, right? All we just lost right now is the formatting. Yes, it's the same thing, it's the formatting. Now this is what it is. So we can delete it individually. You can delete it individually, except you highlight the whole thing and delete it. But this one we can delete it individually. Can you see that? Can you see that? So exactly. So right now, what is the difference? So let me just go to test right here. So look up. I'm gonna double click, and I'm gonna have to say, can you see? Okay, now if I hit an OK right now, you can see that this is gonna get this total test is this particular total test right here, and this is the one we have right here as well. If I hit on OK, so what do I have? I have this one updated, and this does not really update, which means there is something wrong somewhere. Now what is wrong? If I double click it, it's highlighting this for us, which shows that it is actually linked to the top level right here. I hope I've just given you a very nice trick, and this is not linked to anywhere. We just copy it and transport it. That is exactly what it is. So now what we need to do, we just have to get it away from here. We don't need it. This is what we're going to be using right now, but I'm going to click right here and actually take off the extra one we have inside it. Okay, now I'm gonna say okay, and it gets updated again so nicely. So I can now go to my dashboard right here and actually right click on my dashboard and actually say, okay, fine, format control. What I need for you to do for me right now is I'm gonna go down back to my analysis sheet and have this filled in. So we have it filled in right now, and the next one is actually for me to link it. So I'm gonna link something right here. That is exactly what's gonna make our dashboard to be very dynamic. I can now link. Okay, I want to link it at the top of this aspect here. I feel like doing that, and now the total is 7, so I'm gonna put 7 right there. It shows us the whole 7, and beautiful, we have it. But right now nothing is showing up, but if I have it clicked, I can have the whole thing right showing here. So now let's go and take a look at what we have selected. So what we just have selected now is the 5th one, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you see that? So now we want to actually get what we have selected right here. So we're going to be using what we call index, and index is going to be looking for the array practically. I'm going to select right here. Sorry for that. I'm going to select right here for the index. Exactly, this is the right place to select. So now if I hit my comma, it's going to be looking for the row. Which row do you want me to pick something from? So get it determined by this number right here. So if I hit enter, you can see what we have selected. I can now expand it a little bit. Now we have something like this. So what we need to do right here is to get a whole data that is peculiar to this right here, and we use that to create this particular map or continent map we have right here, make it more beautiful. We are right on this top. So the next thing we're going to be doing now is going to use another function called offset. You can see how beautifully we are using pivot table and function to create dashboard just to make it very dynamic. So right now I'm going to use offset, and what offset is looking for is the reference. So now if you don't know what reference is all about, you can actually go and learn about reference on Google. Then you'll learn about reference, or if you just type it like this, click on it. So I don't have time to do that. I'm going to go to the practical level. So click on this, and that is your reference. So now if I hit my comma, it's going to be asking me how many rows do I want to move up or down. How many rows? I don't want to move up or down by any rows, so I'm going to put 0 right there. And the next thing is going to be asking me for the column number. So the height and the weight is optional. That was why we have it in this particular okay, is it curly brace? I don't know. Bracket whatsoever. So now we don't need any of this. It's optional. Don't worry also about that. So I'm going to provide this number for it. And now if I hit enter, what we just have is a figure that is peculiar to people fully vaccinated right here, right? So now you can see it right here. So if I drag it down, we're gonna have to see some errors right on it. Yes, it's happening. So let me just go to this last one right here. So it's looking at Oceania, but something is weird. This particular number right here we have selected is actually moving down, so which means we have to do something before something gets not right here. So I'm gonna have to make it absolute like this. So if I hit enter right now and copy it, we have just pinned this right here. So by double clicking on this right now, it is turning right here and it is stopping here. It's not moving anywhere. So right now this is dynamic. So if I have it to be 1, and let's see what it picks. It picks total cases. Now this is what where it's picking from. That is beautiful. Now the next thing we're going to be doing right now is for we to actually get this to our dashboard dynamically. I hope you see what we've just done right here. If this is your first time to hit our channel, all you just have to do is for you to actually subscribe to our channel and have our content shared. So right now we're going to do something very much different before we start adding it to our dashboard. Okay, right here what we're about to create right now, the very continent name we're seeing right here is very dynamic, so we want to have this arrow switch between them every single time there's some kind of changes, so the arrow is gonna can actually get to be on North America, South, whatsoever. So that's exactly what we want to get. So right now let's get into that. Okay, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to move this away from here as it is some kind of obstructing us to do something very amazing, so we have to move it right here. Okay, now we are good with where we have it right now. So okay, let me just expand it. So if we go back out, let's see if this is still selecting from here. We can actually go on. Yeah, it's still selecting nicely. It's still working with us with what we have right here. So it's still linked. So what we just have is have it copied. It is linked, as you can see. If I select from here, sorry for that. Okay, if I select its first one, let's just go and see if this is really working. Now it is been selected exactly. So now the next thing we need to do right now, we have to start adding some aspect right here. So let me just put a header right on it. So this is where I actually want you to pay much attention, because we're gonna be playing with functions right here, like formulas right here. So where did I get this from? Up and down arrow. So it's very simple. Just you can click right here and go to the top level. And what I'm gonna do is for me to go to insert, and from my insert I'm gonna see this symbol, and right there I see this up and down arrows. So I can say insert, or I can double click on it, the both of them inserted. I can actually separate them by actually cutting this away from here. I can cut and I can actually have it pasted right here, and I have my 2 arrows. So okay, I don't need those ones for now. I can now delete them because already I have it to just show you how I inserted them. So the first thing you're going to be looking at is this. So a little mistake, I'm going to take it up. Okay, fine. The first thing you're going to be looking at is for we to find the marks, where the marks is sitting right here. That's exactly what we need. So now finding the marks is very simple. Oh, sorry, we don't have to use just marks. I'm going to say if this is equal to max and equal to max, so it's gonna be asking for the number. So the number is gonna be this whole number right here. So just scan through here and indicate to me where we have max. So if it is equal to max, what do you want? So I'm gonna have it closed right now, and what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna make this particular aspect absolute. Okay, we've just made it absolute right now. So that is the first condition, if this is actually max. So search between this particular one we have right here and see which particular one is max inside them. So the next thing I'm going to do right now, I'm going to say comma. So if that is true, what I want you to do for me is to give me this particular name of the continent where we have the max. And what I'm going to do right now is for me to actually concatenate that with what? I'm going to concatenate that with this particular arrow we have right here, up arrow, because it's max is going to show me the top arrow. So exactly we have something beautiful like this. So once we have that, so what we're just going to do right now is to make it absolute, and it's very simple. Your shift and your dollar sign are all around it, and we're just going to say, okay, now that you've done that, what you're gonna do for me right now is that, okay, we're gonna go for the second condition, which is supposed to be if value is false. I'm still gonna use that if condition again. I'm gonna say if this particular number here is equal to 0, so it's equal to 0. So what you're gonna do for me, oh, sorry for that. Yeah, if this particular number right here is equal to 0, I want you to actually give me this. And once you have this particular continent given to me, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to concatenate the very arrow down. Yeah, this arrow down right here. So give me this arrow down, else. Okay, so what we're going to be doing right now, this arrow down we have selected, we just have to make it as well absolute. So your shift key and your dollar sign, we're going to do that for you. And the next thing is going to be like, okay, if this is false, what you're going to give to me is just this particular continent right here. So I'm going to have it close like twice just to have the last one closed. I'm going to hit enter, which is very correct. It's saying, okay, this is not where our marks is actually falling. So let us go and find out where we have our marks. Okay, right now you can see we have our marks in Europe, and if you look at Europe, is carrying the highest number. Exactly, we've just gotten where our marks is sitting, and it's giving us the arrow up. So we need something like this. So the next thing we're gonna see is where we are having, now what we have selected is total case. We are having total case to be high in this particular country, and we want to see where we're having the lowest case. It should fall right here if we get our formula right written. Okay, I'm gonna say if this particular one right here, this one here is equal to mean, so it's equal to mean, I'm gonna say, okay, search between here and go search and see, give me where we have the mean. And what I'm gonna do right now is to make the whole stuff absolute, lock them down. Okay, we have just made it absolute. So now what do we need to do? If that is true, what you're gonna give to me is this very continent right here. And once you have done that, so give me this continent, and I'm gonna have it concatenate with the arrow. So now we're gonna have to concatenate it, so you can see how we concatenate right here. So give me the down arrow, and if we're gonna have to make this particular down arrow absolute as well, else it's gonna go with us anywhere we go, and we're gonna have some errors which we don't really want. And if that is false, just give me this continent without any arrow. So I'm gonna have close twice. If I hit enter, I think okay, I think it's right now. It has corrected itself for me automatically. So I'm gonna actually space it a little bit. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm just gonna copy down, and you can see where it is falling right now. So if I have it changed to 3, and if I have this changed to 5, so it has changed, it's changing automatically. So now this is what it is. So right now we need to get it to a dashboard, but there is no way we can get it individually to a dashboard. Instead, what we need to do is just to make a combination and use a very big trick to get that done. So to make combination right now is very easy. Let's see how we can combine this together as well. So it is all about being logical. It is very simple. It is nothing, it's very hard. So I'm gonna say equal to, I'm gonna say if this particular number right here is equal to max. So what you're gonna do is for you to give me this, else it is not, just give me this. So we hit it. Oh, I'm so sorry for that. So I'm gonna start over again. So this is what we ought to have done. So if this number is equal to max, just like what we had done previously is what we are still doing again. If it is equal to max, so max, and I'm gonna provide it this whole range right here. So search if max is falling between there, and what you need to do for me is for you to give me this if that is true, and if it is not, just let me have this. If I hit enter right now, I have not closed the bracket, so it's falling right here, and now we're gonna be having error just because I had not made it absolute, right? I should have done that. So it's shifting, so we just have to do that, else we're gonna have some errors. Now I'm just gonna go right here and make this particular aspect absolute. Okay, we've just done that. I'm gonna hit enter right now, and what we need to do right now is just to pull this down and see where we have it. So we have this combined, so we can see we have our Oceania right here, and we have our North America right here as the top one, so we can now get it right there. So what we need to do, we have to use a condition, because sometimes we might really have everything here to be 0. So if everything right here is 0, it's going to give us all the up arrow. So we just want to use condition to make sure if it is actually all 0, just give us this. So let's see how we can write that function that's going to actually help us to do that. We are onto a very dynamic Excel dashboard right here on YouTube, on this YouTube channel. So if you've not hit the subscribe button before, kindly do that. So this very function is simple, but it's still going to be if. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to say, okay, if this particular number right here is equal to 0, so give me the minimum. Oh, sorry for that. Okay, I flub it. So, comma, give me the min, and if it is not, give me where we have combination. I hit enter and drag it down. I'm going to have the same result. She's not going to be effective right now because there is no error right here. If there is error, you ought to have seen it. Don't worry, if you have this downloaded and you're actually creating your own, you'll fall a victim of such error. You'll be like, oh, he said it. So right now we can now start to populate the dashboard. So what we need to do, I'm going to go to the top level right here and get something amazing. I'm going to get the, okay, let me have this. Go with this. Now there we go. Nice zoom, I love that. So we're just gonna go right here. I'm gonna say equal to, what I'm gonna get right here is the North America. So I'm gonna hit it, and we have North America here, and exactly we should have this. So I'm gonna drag down the North America here. Once we have it right here, what we need to do is just to have it duplicated to the other part of the dashboard. That's exactly what we should be doing right now. So if you look at what we all have here right now, they're all duplicated. So I'm just going to click on this and actually give it the right continent. So right here, I think that what we have right there is actually Europe. So I'm just going to go around this particular aspect and select Europe to be there. So here's my Europe. And there we have that. So like that, I'm gonna actually have to turn around and make sure everything is right on the right spot. Okay, we have just got every single continent right on the right spot. So what we're going to be doing right now is for we to actually bump up the text a little bit just to make sure it fits into what we really want. I'm going to make it bold, and after making it bold, I'm going to go to the top level right here and hit on this particular type of color, and I'm going to make it some kind of calm, so which is too much deck. So I can actually bump it up a little bit and make it bigger. It's gonna be much visible. I think I love something like this. So if the color is too dim, we can decide to actually choose in that color, which is this particular more darker color like this. So beautiful. So what we're gonna do right now is just to actually double click on this for my printer and use it as many times as you like right on it. So right now we can actually have to get this particular format right on this particular one right here, and we can actually get the same format right on this one, and we get the same format right on this, and right on this, and right on this. So right now you can see our dashboard is becoming what it should be, right? Exactly. Oh, if I say I'm so sorry for one thing I had done wrong right now, you would like, oh, this guy is some kind of, what the heck are you doing? So we picked the wrong one, but behind the scene I'm gonna actually have to make up for this just for you to actually understand what I'm trying to say right now. Let me just go select. This is not what we ought to have selected. I'm sorry, my mind went off it. So what I'm gonna do right now is just to say this is what we ought to have needed, not this right here. So if I had it selected, we need to see our arrow on this. So can you see that? So I'm so sorry, I'm gonna make up for that, and what I'm gonna do right now, I'm just gonna copy the formatting right here and give it to it and have a very nice formatting on that. Sorry, it's just a common error. Mine just went off it. I don't really know what it was doing. So now we have the formatting right on it, and we are good to go. So let's see what we can do. Alright, behind the scene I have just made up for my mistakes. So right now if you see what we have right here, the arrow is here and here. So if I have it to go to people fully vaccinated or people yeah, I think people vaccinated right now, you see it moves right here, so it's actually working right now. So the next thing we're going to be doing right now is just for we to actually start to work with this particular figures we have right on them. So it's very simple, just put your equal to right there and go for where we have North America. This is the figure that is peculiar to that. I'm gonna actually have to get to do this, and for now I'm just gonna actually go to home and bump the text up by giving it plain white, and I have it on bold as well, I think it's on board already, so I'm just gonna make sure I bump it up. So now there is one thing I need to actually go back and do so that our text, our numbers here can be very much beautiful on it. So we can highlight the whole and go to Control 1, and we have this up. We just go to number, not currency. We take the extra decimal away and we hit this particular separator, and when we hit OK, we have this. So if we go back to the dashboard right now, it is small, much more beautiful. So it has not updated. Okay, now it's updated. So right now you see what we have. So if I change this, the figure is gonna actually change as well. So right now this is exactly what it is that you need to know about how to get your figures right here. So we're just gonna get the figures for other part of it as well. Okay, right now I have actually given them the right figures, so I'm just gonna go right here and do the same thing I have been doing before, just to make it very much snappy. And this is what we're gonna have right here. As you can see, our dashboard is almost taking shape. So if I select this, say new date, it's gonna change, and you see where the arrow is, and see where its arrow is taking the minimum aspect of it. So if I go right here, select people fully vaccinated, and let us go and look the beautiful aspect of it by actually selecting here. We can go and insert our slices right now. So I can now go right here, and so I can now pick the month slicer, and I'm gonna pick the year slicer as well. I'm gonna hit OK, and I have it. So let us go and play around with slicers and see what we have on our dashboard, how it can get updated automatically the way we really wanted it. So right now we are right here on our dashboard. I'm gonna paste the slices right here. It's connected to this particular map you have right here right now. So I'm just gonna separate them. So we're gonna actually work on the slices in the Jiffy. Okay, now if I place my January, so you can see it got filters, and in January we don't have any data, so it's giving us arrow down, arrow down. That was why we have this particular bunch of function created right here, so that it can actually give us all this, right? So now can you see what it does, gives us? Now you can see we have the arrow down here, the arrow down, the arrow down, and it's replicating itself right here, so there is no messing up, right? So now that is our first way of doing this. So the next thing we're gonna do right now is just to get this particular aspect ready. So we just have to create this one right here. So if we go to the main dashboard, you can see what we have. We have the total case, the total data, and as well this. So we just gonna have all this through as well. So let's see how we can go into that. So this thing I'm gonna do right now, I'm just gonna click right here, and you know what it is, every single time just go to insert and insert a word art and click on it, and just go pick right here, it's equal to the cases. So I'm gonna go, already we have it, and here we have it. So I'm just gonna click on, move it up right here, and I have my text, I have my type of character. So I'm just gonna go for agency of B. I'm gonna say okay, and it's not really different than agency of B for now. So agency of B, nicely. So what we're gonna do right now, oh shit, it's not really going to get good at it. So agency of B. So right now we have it on agency of B, and it's in black, so we can't really see it so well. So I'm just gonna bump it up to be on white, so we have something like that. I'm gonna put it on bold, and we have to go and use 24. I think 24 is, yeah, it's not really much. So I'm just gonna make sure it's sitting right here, and we have just this. Now we can actually scroll to this end and actually duplicate this for this, so we don't have to reinvent the wheel again, right? So I have this here, and I'm gonna have this right here as well. So let's go and see how we can pick something like total debt right here. So go, and total debt is gonna come in, and we're gonna have new debt. So new debt is gonna come in as well. So we pick a new debt. So we have all that. So just gonna do the same thing over and over again. Duplicate it. Copy the format. So we got it. We just got something very much interesting. So let's appeal into a dashboard. So we have just, let me just go and give you 100% view. So always make sure you make your dashboard in 100% view. So right now we're having 100% view of this dashboard right now. So but it's not connected to this, is it? No, it's not connected to this, so we can go ahead and connect it right now and it's gonna move, but we don't have to concern ourselves much about that yet. So I'm gonna actually even have to delete this away from here. The next thing we're gonna be doing right now is just to have all the cards we have right here that is showing us some other metrics, which is those cards. We just need to actually have them right there as well. So let's see how we get them right there. Yes, our dashboard is taking shape. So we have this right here. So you might be thinking, how did you get this? So I'm just gonna actually show you how I actually made this up. So it's very simple. So I'm gonna ungroup it. So what we have right is just a card, and we want to have our dashboard in almost a white and gray background. So we have actually given it a gray background, and we have right here and that one right here. So if you can see, it's just an empty cell. So I'm just going to Ctrl Z and bring it back on. So now we have it like this. The reason why we're having this is just because we want to have our image on it, and you know where we got this from. So if you just go to insert, and you can insert this rounded rectangle, something like that. So we just have to bring it on and make sure you don't really leave it on the full curve. Just make it a little bit curvy and actually give it any color you feel like you are really okay with. So make sure your color resonates with the logo and some of the top header right here. So right now we have this. The next thing we're going to see right now is that how did we place all those images right on it. So right now we need those images. I'm going to show you how to do that. So we need to import an image to our dashboard. So just go to insert and actually go to picture, and from picture it's going to take us to where we have our image. So I think we have our image right here. I'm going to scroll down, keep scrolling down. So I'm going to take this particular image right here. I'm going to double click on it. So we have the image, so we can resize the image to fit into that particular circle. So the image is not actually dynamic. So if you're looking for a dynamic image, you can actually go to my dashboard. You see, so on my other dashboard I have a very nice tutorial that will actually take you that on dynamic image. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to set this particular image right here. So let me just give you like okay, 130. So I'm gonna zoom it. So right now we can see it better, and we can work with this particular type of view. So I'm just gonna make sure I'll make it smaller, and I'm just gonna make sure it's sitting right inside here so that it can actually be on the same side with others. So we're just gonna crank this down a little bit. So now here we go, we have something like this. That's exactly what we want. So I can actually get the figure that's peculiar to here and get other images right here. So let's go. Okay, we have gotten our images for the other part of it. So right now what we need to do right now is just to get the dynamic so we just need to get the figures that is peculiar to those images right here based on what we have right here. So like now we have to tap people tested, and it's very simple and easy. So I think I've shown you that you can actually go get it right here, because we don't need to do any extra analysis to get this right here. So to tap people tested, it's just gonna be this, and we're just gonna go for it, and we have it right here. I'll hit enter, and I'm gonna set it right here. I'm gonna show you the color you can actually use for this. So make sure you go and actually give it this agency LP. So that is what you need to give to it. So we give it agency LP. So that is exactly what we need. So I'm gonna put it on bold and make sure I have it on 20, and we're gonna go right here and have this particular type of color. So gray it out. So we have this color and it's okay. So now can you see that it's really cool on our dashboard right now. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna have it duplicate for this all through. So right now we have just duplicated this for all this right now, and it's working fine, but this filter is not going to respond to it because what we have right here is exactly what we have right here. So the filter is going to respond to it is a different filter entirely, just like what we have right here right now. So the filter that is responding to this is all this is actually this particular filter we have right here, so which is the month, and as well the year filter is responding to every part of this right now. If I go and put on April, so you can actually take a look at the figures we have right here, it's going to change automatically. Now can you see that it's actually changing? So I'm going to go to August, and you're going to see that in August, so it's going to actually change automatically right with this as well. Can you see that it's actually changing? That's exactly what I'm talking about. So right now it's not going to work on days, so we have no filter yet. So we're going to be creating a dynamic filter for it in no time. But right now what we're going to do right now is just for you to create and very nice analytics, so that we can actually go and see on a monthly basis, so how many cases, how many vaccination, how many people have been vaccinated and stuff like that. I'm just gonna go right here. I'm gonna paste this one right here, and I have a draft. And what I'm gonna do right now is just to make a little tweak. Okay, already I have this up. I'm gonna change this one away from here. I'm gonna remove it. So just click on it and have it removed. So it's gone. So I'm just gonna go and locate where I have my month. So I have the month right here. I can actually put on my month right here. So my month is showing me just May. So why is it doing that? So we just have to go and clear the filter. Okay, we have a filter on it. I knew it. We have a filter on it. We need to clear that filter. So the filter is being cleared. I'm going to have to close this away from here. And for we to create a dynamic chart that is going to actually switch between this and that, so what we need to do right now, I'm just going to actually bring this down a little bit. Okay, fine. I'm going to actually come here and say month. So click on month, reference that, and actually go get this down to where you will get to December. So I think I have one November. So one more, we just take us to December. So exactly, that's exactly what we need. So the right now is to just make sure we have a dynamic. So I'm just gonna go and make a reference to what we have right here. So we have total debt selected, and that is exactly what we need. So the next thing I'm gonna do now is just to do the same thing again. I'm gonna say offset, and what is my offset looking for is reference. I'm gonna reference the top right here, and move up and down 0. I've taught you how to do that previously. I don't need to go through it over and over again. And the column is just gonna be with the number we have right here, because we want, if we switch through it, it should give us the same thing. And now what we need to do is just to have it locked down, right? I'm gonna go back right here, and I'm gonna have this locked down, which is make it some kind of absolute. So if I hit enter, so I'm gonna have the figure that's peculiar for this particular month, from January down to December. Exactly total debt is actually this. So we have total debt, and this is the figure that is given us right now. So we can now create our chart from here. That's exactly what we want to do. And there is a type of chart we can actually use for this. So the type of chart is actually this very chart we have right here. I love that chart. It shows us something very, very, what we want. So it's called Pareto chart. So I'm just gonna hit on OK, and we can actually go and give it what kind of format we want. So I'm gonna cut it away from here and take it to my dashboard, and here we go. I'm gonna have to drop it here, and I'm gonna give it some kind of nice formatting so that it could look very fine on our dashboard, so we don't have to leave it at this color too much. So now we can go ahead and say, okay, now what you're gonna do now is just to double click on it. So after I might have done that, just come right here and say no fill. I'm gonna go to border. I'm gonna say no border. So no border, no fill, no border, and I'm gonna remove this particular red line away from it. So now it's clean. So I'm gonna actually have to change the color of this, and that color I'm gonna be saying, okay, I love this color, it's cool. And for this one, what I'm gonna do is just to lower the opacity. Click on it, make sure the line is clicked. Okay, I have it clicked already, so I'm just gonna make sure I put it low. It's just gonna actually appear a little bit. So now I have something like this. Can you see that? So we can spot it. So right now I can actually go ahead and have this closed, but before I do that, I want to take this particular line off right here. I don't need that line. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm just gonna click on this and have the line cleared. So that is exactly what we need to do, and I'm gonna have this closed. And if I go right here and actually say okay, now if I change it, so it's gonna, every single month is gonna actually have to change and dance to the tune. Now can you see that? So we can see how it is this month. So we're having just 1 2 3 4 5. So it's from May, it's not gonna be from January, it's gonna be hierarchical from the highest to the lowest. That is exactly how it actually rate our data for us. So the total test, so we see from January down to December is going to give us the figure we have, but it's not going to actually start from January. It's going to start from the highest one. So May is carrying the highest, second is April, March is carrying February, January, December, you can see that. So it's going down, declining, and this is the kind of chart we can use. Beautifully, so we have this done. The next thing we're going to be doing right now is for we to actually start animating our dashboard. That is exactly what we need to do. So right now we've just created this without any VBA, and in our next we're just gonna see how we can actually get this graded up with VBA, and that VBA is gonna be as simple as ABC. It's something never expected. Wonderful work with just little lines of code. So thank you very much for watching. If you are still here, just hit the subscribe button. Help me share this to your social media, and let friends of Humbly get to know that we have a beautiful channel just like this.